Let's turn over to Binance land. We have more information about the BUSD lawsuit between Paxos and the SEC with Changpeng Zhao, or CZ as he's commonly referred to in industry. He is the CEO of Binance, which uses the BUSD stablecoin. Paxos is the issuer and audits the BUSD stablecoin. The SEC is going after it after labeling it an unregistered security. This, of course, has great importance for Binance, which uses this stablecoin for the entirety of its ecosystem. There's billions of BUSD out there in Ether, and people use it to trade on Binance quite a bit. And now that the SEC is going against Paxos, the issuer of BUSD, that portends some trouble for Binance. CZ in a Twitter Spaces and in a Twitter thread yesterday said that they are distancing themselves a little bit from this, saying that, hey, we don't create it. Paxos creates this. We just allow them to license our name and to create the stablecoin, and then we use it. And we might have some reserves for it, but it's not really us. This is more of a Paxos issue. He said in that Twitter thread. A little bit of an interesting stance. I think this is more important for Binance than he's necessarily letting on. Of course, this is bigger repercussions for the crypto industry. Stable coins are the denominator for all trading activity. Used to be Bitcoin. If you wanted to buy Ether or another coin out there, you would use Bitcoin as denominator. Nowadays, you use a stable coin, and BUSD is one of the 3 largest stable coins. So if the SEC does go against the stablecoin issuer Paxos, it does succeed in labeling it an unregistered security. Well, we have big problems for the crypto industry. Wendy, you are a trader on the show. Tell me a little bit what's going on here. Is this FUD or not?
This is actually kind of bearish for me. I have a lot of thoughts on this, but I want to kind of talk about it from a trader's perspective. I remember when I first started trading, you always traded in like Bitcoin pairs, and you had to learn how to, do the dosage calculations. And I say it like that is because I worked in healthcare and we had to convert stuff, whatever. But I think it was so cool to be able to actually have more options of stable coins to trade in depending on what exchange you're using and whatnot. I remember for a long time there was only Tether, and it was kind of complex because not all exchanges had it. And we had MetaMask, but people weren't really using MetaMask like that. But so this is a sad story to me to kind of see this happen, especially with Binance, because I think that I don't like to see negative competition in the market when it impacts other people. And I also think that this is par for the course for when we do get a CBDC that's going to be coming in. I think that the US government needs to have complete control before that they can go ahead and issue that. And I do think that the stablecoin or the CBDC will be USDC for reasons. I don't think I need to get my tinfoil crown on, but I don't like that there's all this drama happening with the stablecoins. We do need to actually have stablecoins that make trading a lot easier, and they make investing a lot easier for average folks because you're not having to convert and do all that stuff all the time. So I don't know. That's my take on it. I'm not happy about all the drama behind the scenes, but it is crypto. I think it was Jen's hand that was up. Was it Jen's?
It was, and then Will's. So I'll go quickly. On the news, withdrawals on Binance surged. So about $831 million left Binance in the last 24 hours. And so I think CZ's comments really are to ease users, to ease customers, right? This is not the first time in this market that we've seen that mass amount of withdrawals on Binance, especially with what's happening with centralized exchanges. I think CZ, I remember, I think it was like probably a year and a half ago on the show, I brought up that game show, where people get hit by like all of the like large Q-tips and things. And I said, Binance is like going through that with regulations, and then things eased with Binance. And I feel like CZ is back out here in the public, just trying not to get hit by things. And he so far is doing a good job. So far, Binance is showing that they can stand the large withdrawals. They can stand the regulatory news and the negative news with centralized exchanges. So I'm going to simp for Binance during this segment and say I think that they have done a great job given everything that's come their way, Zach.
It's American Gladiators. I don't know if they struck American from the title in Canada, but it's American Gladiators is the show that you're referencing, which is the best show of all time. Anyway, I think it's a little bit suspect that CZ is throwing Paxos under the bus here a little bit, right? I think when BUSD came out with Paxos's involvement, it was like a credibility win for Binance. It's like, hey, we're working with like a highly regulated firm in the US to issue this stablecoin that has our name on it. This is awesome. We rule. This is great. So now for this to be occurring here when times aren't quite as good, seems a bit suspect to me. And I think that's a little bit of a weird move. I believe that there are two BUSDs, and I'm going to just sound the alarm on this one over and over again. There's like the proper BUSD with reserves that exist through Paxos. There's also the BUSD that exists on BNB chain. So there is sort of this confusion of things that is occurring here. So I think just that added note of clarity is important. But I want to throw it to Jen for her thoughts. She raised her hand.
Yeah, I saw that CZ was also addressing the reports that Circle was the one to alert regulators to look into this. And he said, he doesn't really believe that Circle would do that. He doesn't think that a professional industry peer would want to do that to another industry peer. I thought that was rich coming from CZ. So I'm just going to, flip sides. I simped at the beginning of the segment and I was like, CZ, aren't you the one who's out here always calling out all your other industry peers? So I thought that was kind of hilarious. And I wonder what the motivation was there. Wendy?
I just think there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes that we don't know about, and there's a lot of meeting going on. Things are going to get very, 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 very interesting, and I'm glad that CZ is out and talking about this. And I just want to know if is the report actually true? Did Circle actually blow the whistle, as Too Short would say?
Well, that's a good Too Short reference, Wendy. I appreciate that. The Bay Area rap scene undervalued, but I don't think that they're going to publicly come out and say one way or the other whether or not they snitch on a competitor in this instance. So this one will probably have to remain within the realm of reported via unnamed sources, but I could be wrong. We may see some clarity on that. Who knows?
Last point I want to bring up really quick is that Reuters report from early January that did disclose that there was a $1 billion shortfall in BUSD in its history, right? So not currently, but in its history, there had been a shortfall that had not been caught by the Binance team. Again, that might be the other BUSD that you are speaking about here, Zach, but at the very least, it doesn't instill a lot of confidence in the whole stablecoin regime.